everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do a channeled message, an empowering message for action. We're going to see what comes up for the collective. If you're here and you were drawn to this reading, it's because you needed this message at this time. Please take what resonates. Take metaphors the way that they most resonate for you and make the most sense for you. Always come back to your own internal guidance. You know what's best for you. You know what's best for your life. You are your own guide. These messages are meant to be activations so that you return home to your own intuition, to your own knowing, to yourself. I cannot tell you any specifics about your situation in your life, but I can read the energy that you're a part of right now. And from there, you get to use your free will and you get to be empowered in your decisions and in the direction that you're going and in the way that you use your energy. You get to be creative about that. So let's see the general message today for everybody who's tapping into this reading. This is the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Beautiful. Open. Say yes. Expand through the extremes. Trust life. I'm going to let you look at the imagery for a second if you want. This is a heart and throat opening. Especially the throat chakra opening like that. Expand through the extremes, trust life. Say yes. Okay? We also have answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts as an underlying theme or message. Wonderful. I'm excited to see where this reading takes us. I'm going to pull one more oracle message from the Kuan Yin deck. As I open up to channel your message to you. You have been receiving some pretty amazing downloads and shifts from the universe, like realizations that have been setting you free in ways that you didn't expect and you didn't know were possible. You've been being enlightened in a sense. You've been seeing the light and seeing new life in areas and paths that you thought maybe were dead or that had fallen through or that were gone. And this is like a gift that you've been given because it's your time now to rise up and become the leader that you're meant to be. And the leadership is different for everybody, and it will depend on what you want to bring into the world. But your particular kind of leadership is needed now in the world. So, and this isn't to rush you. This reading is obviously about the sort of the actioning, it's the awakening to action that you can take right now, and what you can open up to, basically. This is a moment of being brave. This is a time in your life where you're going to be asked to be brave, to say yes to things that will expand you and make you more of what you're capable of becoming or being. So things that really felt impossible or scary in the past are going to feel less impossible They will still feel a little intimidating, but you're going to have the bravery, almost as if it's been like downloaded from the universe. You're going to have that bravery to do those things. Okay, so big change is coming for sure. And yeah, you're being asked to trust in the guidance that you are being given by your spirit guides, by the universe, by the signs, by maybe readings and messages that you're getting from other people, through other people from the universe. You're holding on, you're going somewhere, you're going on a journey that's going to be taking you into new land, into new vista, and you're going to be getting a lot bigger than you were before. And that journey of expansion is going to feel like pretty like whirlwind. So you're being asked to really hold on to your grounding practices, hold on to your gratitude, hold on to your daily rituals, hold on to the things that make you feel connected back in with yourself, with your grounded energy, while all of this is shifting and changing and happening around you. Those are also the things that you are being guided to tap into when you are experiencing like growth in certain areas or expansion. Like if you are doing something that feels a little nerve-wracking, then surround that event and that experience with things that are really grounding and really familiar to you. And also another message I'm getting is to really keep your eye kind of only a few steps ahead, like maybe at most 6 months. Like don't be trying to bring in things that are a lot further down the line, because you can still see visions for things that are going to come. Like you can hold a dream that's something that you definitely want to get to, but for focusing purposes and for manifesting purposes, keep your eye more close at hand, like to just like sort of the near future, because in that sense you're going to be led by the path that's in front of you. You will be led one step at a time, and it'll allow your nervous system to really regulate itself at each step, and you won't feel as overwhelmed. You also won't feel as like you won't be experiencing freeze and shutdown as much because of the intimidation factor of like, oh my God, I have to do all these huge things and I don't feel ready to do them, or I feel like it's just too much. Like we don't want to be going there in our energy right now. We want to just be staying grounded and staying connected to the things that we're able to do right now, and projecting our vision a few months ahead at a time. I'm going to take a sip of tea. And this is also, this is a time to be playful and to experiment and to allow the universe to show you what is possible by allowing things to happen, just by saying yes. It's like being a yes man, you know, that Jim Carrey movie. It's not having no boundaries. It's not about that. It's about saying yes to experiences and opportunities that are coming your way, or that you have in front of you, even if somebody else isn't handing them to you, but there's space. How do you want to fill the space? Do you want to do that thing that you've been thinking about doing? This is the time to do those kinds of things. This is the time to play and experiment in the open space that you do have around you. Feeling really out of breath for some reason. So I think there's a lot of pent-up energy that a lot of us are feeling, stiffness. And I think that's because it's potential energy. It's kinetic energy that needs to be, it needs to be like expressed. You need to play. You need to exercise. You need to get out there. You need to try things. You need to do weird stuff in your room. That sounds really weird. I don't mean it that way. I just mean like in the privacy of your private time, or in your you like do the things that you're a little too afraid to kind of come out in public with right now. Still sounds a little weird, but I think you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a little nervous about taking something public, then don't do it publicly yet, but play with that concept, role play with yourself until you start to feel more comfortable doing that thing. It's inevitable. The more you embody it through play and action and acting it out, the more real it just becomes. It literally becomes a part of you if you let it. It's kind of the reason why some actors have psychological issues that they have to deal with after they do a certain role or a certain like aspect or scene or something that like really, really affects them. Because when you are truly embodying a character, you are becoming it. And it's that same, and so if that's like kind of a negative thing, then you might have to do some work to sort of shed the things that you have integrated into your system. It's pretty intense, actually, if you think about it. But that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting right now, is like, you can be an actor with the life that you want to build. That's actually part of manifestation. It's part of this like beautiful, playful time that we're getting right now, right before spring. I'm recording this, although this is a timeless reading. The energy of pre-spring is really, really resonant here. It's the time, even like the earliest moments of baby things, of things like children, and like the babyest sprouts are starting to come through. I mean, not where I am. We're still covered in snow, but in more temperate regions, there are plants starting to like burst through the soil, and it's like lambing season, or it's becoming lambing season. And it's this idea of playing, of being free with potential and allowing yourself to role play and play house with the life that you want to live. So yeah, and in this deck, the Kuan Yin Oracle, Kuan Yin is depicted always as this girl of different ages, different like physical features. Like, she's all these different women, but she's often / always seemingly accompanied by this beast, this ox. And it was a yak, I think. And what that represents is the earthly body being always connected with the spiritual body. And as well as that, in the human life, there is the animal instinct, as well as the higher mind of the human, of the intellect. And this point in your life, what this message is trying to bring forth is that balancing the physical and the mental, or the earthly and the spiritual, pleasure and feeling and then thought, all these things. This is being integrated in you right now in a really profound way, where everything that you're doing is a beautiful dance between these two sides of the same coin. You're a master manifester because of your ability to manipulate matter by like creating the world, because you've integrated your mind and your body. They have a healthy relationship. They are in tune with one another. You also have a direct connection to spirit, and you understand that your life is one with the universe as a whole, and your existence is just a physical manifestation of source, of spirit. And you're playing with that. You understand right now, this is the moment in time. This is like an opening, a portal in your life where your manifestation is possible. You understand that everything that you desire and that you want to create, you can create it in the real world, in the physical world. There's definitely a relationship between the throat chakra and the sacral chakra, if that's something that interests you. Definitely getting some blues and oranges here. So that pathway between sacral and throat, which means sacral, solar plexus, heart, and then throat. Those 4 chakras in the center of the body, that is a really powerful energy track, I guess, for you to focus on right now. So that also means that certain limiting blocks that you might have right now might be around guilt and shame around what you deserve, and feeling pleasure, and feeling not just pleasure physically, but like experiencing a beautiful, pleasurable life, experiencing the things that you want and that you need. Not that you need. It's more than that. It's like, you deserve the things you need. You deserve everything to keep yourself alive and healthy and stable. But like, what do you want on top of that? How can you build a life that is beautiful, that is just exceptionally connected and divine and comfortable and bountiful? There might be some blocks that you have around what it is that you're able to, what you're worthy of having. And that kind of guilt, because I am feeling like it can often be guilt in this scenario, as like a subconscious kind of guilt, that's rooted in the sacral chakra. And yeah, I'm really feeling like there are these deep, I'm getting really like crunched up in my face right now, because I'm feeling this lack of belief and this almost like frustrated energy that feels like it despises something. It despises something in itself that wants those things. It despises people that want those things or have those things. It doesn't understand why that's something that some people get and others don't. There are beliefs here that I can feel floating around like having money and being rich, like wealthy and rich, inherently makes you a bad, unconscious person. These are definitely beliefs that need to be addressed. They need to be acknowledged, and then they need to be dissolved and transmuted, because the only way that you can understand how those beliefs are not truths is by doing the work to transmute them, doing the work to understand them, and then to reevaluate them, and then to move beyond. Also, another way to truly embody a different belief is to manifest out of it, basically. So to be the person who has the things that they want and is still conscious and is still connected to others and is still benevolent and still builds things for community and still gives back. Like having a life that supports you beyond just your basic needs, but actually that helps you to thrive and to like not work overtime and to do things in a way that actually suit your unique energy. That is natural. Every single creature in the universe has a unique way of existing, and in its right environment it thrives. And a lot of creatures, and let's take every single human being as a different creature, right? Like every single being is allowed to create or live within an environment, a social structure, a work structure, a physical environment that helps it thrive in its most natural way, if that makes sense. Like if I were to take a tree frog and then put it in like a cow's meadow in England, like a tropical tree frog, and then put one, I don't know, or in like Argentina, and expected it to live like a cow and do all the things that a cow would do, how would that be? Like it obviously couldn't, right? And so what I'm saying is, I mean, it's such a stupid example, but like what I'm saying is, what are you? get really clear on what you are, and then love that truth of who you are and what you are and how you show up and what's unique about you. And then put yourself within, or create an environment around you that allows you to thrive as that being. Because when everything is in its right place, when everybody is in their most nourishing environment and ecosystem and situation, then the world flows better, then life thrives as a whole. So 7 of Wands, I'm also getting that there's an energy here of defending yourself. So I think it's not about defending yourself in an aggressive way. It's about, like I was just saying, holding yourself confidently in who you are, and not allowing the external noise to deter you from what your truth is. There's a lot of illusion in the world, a lot of voices, a lot of noise coming from other people, coming from culture, coming from society that is like a sort of like noise attack on us. And it becomes really hard to know what it is that we're meant to fucking do. Like, how am I supposed to fulfill all these orders? How am I supposed to do all these things? How am I supposed to be everything for everyone? Stop that. Like, we just need to like clear out the noise. And the way you can do this is by continually practicing those strategies of self-understanding, coming back to yourself, coming back to your breath, remembering who you are, remembering to step into that confidence of who you are and what you're here to do, or like what your gifts are, what your strengths are, and staying empowered in that energy, staying empowered in your uniqueness, in your beauty, your unique beauty. Cutting out too much content, like this is also something I'm getting to with the 7 of Rods, is having really strong boundaries. I'm going to take this advice for myself. Having stronger or really strong boundaries around what content you consume and who you're listening to, whose energy you're allowing in your space. I mean, I feel so grateful that you're here listening to me and my energy. But please, if I'm ever making you feel annoyed or sick or just like, oh, shut up, just turn it off. Just turn it off. You have free will in all moments. You have a choice in every moment. And your power comes from you returning to yourself, returning to your own personal energy, returning to your intuition, and remembering that you have your own special way of being intuitive. And it's really fun to like open up to the world and then to get confirmation about that back at us, get the universe mirroring it back at us. It's really fun. It's really like affirming. But ultimately, there should be points in the day, every single day, multiple times a day, where we return to our own energy and block out the noise. And that can be people in your actual waking life. It doesn't have to only be content and stuff and noise and like social media, TV, whatever. It's like people in your life. Also, really kind of getting this energy that there's some people around you that kind of don't want you to escape them, don't want you to be too much, don't want you to be bigger than them or taller than them or more than them in some way. And that is their own problem. That's something that they need to sort out, and that your presence actually, and this is really, can be really scary, because we don't want to feel like we're being abandoned by our friends just because we want to succeed, or that we're being like rejected because we're growing bigger, we're going somewhere else, or we're doing something that means so much to us, and for some reason it can make others feel angry and jealous. And what Spirit is trying to tell all of us is that sometimes happens, yeah. And right now, we've been given the strength to hold steady in that vision, hold steady in ourselves, and hold steady in our energy, and to allow others to feel that. It's the let them thing. Allow others to feel whatever they can feel, and to always return back to the self, to return back to our relationship with Spirit, and return back to the friendships and the relationships in our life, whether they're physical or through the internet or something, that genuinely do support us in becoming that dream and becoming who we really are. So, Seven of Swords reversed, we're stepping out of, we're stepping into integrity, we're stepping out of lack of honesty, we're stepping out of dishonesty, we're stepping out of hiding ourselves, we're stepping out of trying to do things all by ourselves as well. So there's this understanding that you are truly a co-creator with the universe. That can be something that we've known forever. Like, I've heard that a million times over, but at a certain point, it becomes an embodied understanding, a true embodied understanding. And when it becomes embodied, it's when we fully understand that we actually do make our own reality, that I have free will. I can do things. I can do things to shift my reality. It's not a joke. It's not a myth. And that allows us to become more honest with ourselves and more honest with others about who we are, more honest about where we want to go and what we have to do to get there. I think that there is a message coming through also of feeling like you need to be doing things kind of low profile or secretly at the moment. And that makes sense. There's an active, there's an element of self-protection that I'm getting here for a lot of us, where the thing that you're trying to build, the thing that you're trying to become, is something that you don't feel is safe from the energy of other people. And that might be so. And so right now it's time to sort of keep playing, keep cultivating, but also be a little self-protective around what it is that you're doing. And it can seem a little shady if you feel like you're hiding your real self, but that's not going to last forever, because the Four of Wands here is like a homecoming. There's an opening, a portal that you're walking through with everything that you're doing right now and with your accomplishments. And you're coming home. You're coming home through it's because you're working with, how do I describe what I'm feeling right now? It's like a cleansing through the heart space, through authenticity. And by doing this, by allowing yourself to become who you are, you will emerge into public. You will emerge into public view as your most authentic and most beautiful self. And it will be celebratory. It will be something that others celebrate with you. And there's nothing really to fear, is basically what I'm getting. Is like, you might feel like you need to be protective right now, but ultimately this is a point in the journey where you're really returning home to yourself. So protect it and allow this to be a sacred space. Allow this to be a sacred experience for you. Something that is protected like a temple, because you're coming home. Okay. Whoa. It's funny, so the Strength card flew out, and in this deck, it looks a lot like an emperor figure. It's very masculine, and then the emperor flew out. So a grounding message coming through is Strength and the Emperor. Like, that couldn't be more powerful. Ooh, and the Hierophant reversed. Interesting. So this is about running your own life. This is 100% about running your own life, about not doing things the conventional way, not doing things the way that others have told you they need to be done, and being completely strong in your convictions, in who you are, and taking charge of your life, taking charge of the power that you have within you. I asked for an empowerment message, and this is what we're getting. You are truly, right now, you're stepping into the emperor energy, or you're in it already. And this has happened because of a process of strengthening your inner relationship with self, with that inner beast. Remember, with the strength card is all about inner a control with like the anima or animus, with this subconscious self, the subconscious self that's more instinctual, that's more connected to the rawness of the universe. It's like it's always responding to us. It's our companion as well, but it's also us. It's just truly us. It's the other side of our conscious mind, of our intellect. And the work that you've done to integrate the wildness within you, to integrate the pain, to integrate underlying beliefs and assumptions about the world. You have been digging that up, and you've been embodying the healing process that is coming from that. You've been taming the out of control aspects of yourself as well, not through force actually, but through understanding and through companionship. And that has made you into this powerful emperor, because a true emperor is someone who has self-possession, has self-awareness, and believes in the agency of everyone, of all individuals together. That when we step into our personal power, when we step into our sovereignty, when we all do that in a way that also has a mind to harmony and to living in peace and to cultivating harmony. When we do that, then everybody can live with their abundance. Everybody can live in bounty. And further, I really am thinking that, with Emperor coming out, it's not just any old king. This is the King of Kings. And that beginning message we had around leadership, empowerment, soul gifts, answer the call with the anointed one. This is also coming into our Emperor energy as a sign that everyone who's tuning into this reading, you're not mere rulers of your own lives. You are more than that. You're actually leaders that help others to rule their own lives, if that makes sense. So symbolically speaking, as the Emperor, it's like you guide others into their own sovereignty. You help others to do this for them, to do this for themselves. And it's not necessarily dominate. It's not a domineering energy. You're not forcing your impact. By the word anointed is giving me this feeling or this understanding of being chosen, right? Of being blessed by the community. It's interesting that there's the Hierophant reversed. Also one who's chosen is the Pope, right? But let's not go there. But the idea is like, instead of an institution deciding who is in power here, this whole reading, this whole theme, this whole, probably what all of our lives are really about, is us choosing ourselves and us choosing our own leaders, us choosing our own guides, and being our own guides, and then helping others to, in ways that we can, in whatever ways that we can. And we have free will to anoint ourselves and to show up in authenticity so that others may recognize us and others may recognize the gifts that we have so that we can help them. They help us to rise, and they help us to direct our energy in the ways that we can best serve. Others are as part of our success as our own ambition is. And that's true emperor energy and true king energy, true leadership energy, is knowing that you are of service. Not that you are in power over others, but that you're in service of their well-being. You're in service of the peace of the kingdom. You're in service of overseeing and of taking ownership and responsibility for your own life, for your own behavior, for what you're doing, for how you show up in the world, for your integrity. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now in this reading. That's what this reading is about. It's about enjoying this place, enjoying this, walking through this portal of transformation and growth into that state of complete ownership. And knowing that there's nothing forceful about this. There's nothing that needs to be sacrificed in you. There's nothing that needs to be hardened actually at all. This isn't about becoming harder and fiercer and more dominating and challenging. This is about play. It's about ownership of yourself and recognizing who you are and recognizing your gifts, and then opening to the opportunities that come to you. This is also a time for you to prepare for those opportunities. So even if things aren't really changing right this minute, they sure as hell are coming in soon. And this time of self-protection that you're being offered, of kind of like privacy and working behind the scenes, is all preparation for the opportunities that will be opening themselves up to you in the coming phase, probably in the next 6 months, or within the next 6 months, or over the next few years, however far you are kind of manifesting your visions. The point is, this whole next era of your life is one where you are in the power, the seat of power, and you're finally feeling like you have control over your life, where you finally feel control over how your life is looking, and you're also living in a state of abundance. It's really beautiful. So I'm going to leave that there. If you would like any further guidance on your path, you know where to reach out to me. Info's in the description box. You can always reach out personally. And I wish you all the best on this journey. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.